G'day guys, Wulani here. Today I'm going to be doing my Round 5 AFL 2022 tips. And without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. Alright, first game of the round, we have Brisbane and Collingwood. This will be quite an interesting game, both teams coming off a loss. Collingwood obviously having a more disappointing loss, losing to West Coast. And Brisbane only just losing to Geelong at the GMHBA. So I would probably say you'd have to give it to Brisbane, and you'd have to say it pretty easily. But you never know with Collingwood. They've been hit or miss, but when they've been playing well, they've been playing very well. So I'm gonna say Brisbane will get up by 28 points, but you never know. Collingwood might be an underdog that gets a win this week. Now the second game, the Friday game, we got North Melbourne and the Bulldogs. This one is quite an easy one to pick. Everyone should pick this game correctly. The Bulldogs should win. I'm going to say by about 40 points. It's not going to be as much as last year, but I still think North aren't anywhere near as good as the Bulldogs. So yeah, I'm going to say the Bulldogs will get this one done very comfortably. I'm going to say, 40 points. Game 3, it's another quite easy one in my opinion. Although there might be a few upsets. There always is. And again, this could be one of them, but I wouldn't bet on it. So West Coast Sydney should win quite easily. Even though it is at Optus, Sydney should win. Last time they played, Sydney won by about 80. And I just can't see West Coast winning. They had a good win against Collingwood last week, but Sydney are just different. Sydney are going to win, and I'm going to say quite easily. I'm going to say Sydney also. I'm going to say them by 48. So Sydney by 48. Now, St Kilda Gold Coast. This, in recent times, has been a very close game, surprisingly. And I'm going to say it's the same again. And the Saints seem to always win, so I'm going to back the Saints. They should win this game. I think they will. It's at Marvel. I would highly doubt they lose this one. But I do think it's going to be quite close. So I'm going to tip the Saints by 19 points. It's going to be the furthest margin it's been for years, which is surprising, but only 19 points. But these games seem to always be good, and they always seem to be close right at the end. So I reckon the Saints might kick a few later in the game and just pull away. But again, I reckon this game isn't as sure as the last few games. I think this is the closest game of the round so far. Now, Adelaide-Richmond. I reckon this will be quite a good game. I reckon it's about 50-50 who wins. I've said Richmond will win, even though it's at Adelaide Oval. But I reckon this is the one I might drop my tipping. Whatever one I tip, it'll be the other one will win. So if I tipped Adelaide, Richmond will win, and because I'm tipping Richmond, Adelaide are going to win. Watch it happen. It happens every time I pick a 50-50. So yeah, I would say Richmond get this one done by about 13 points. It'll be a close game, but I think Richmond's class is just a little bit better than Adelaide right now. And even with the home field advantage, I don't think it'll be enough. Richmond, they looked good last week, but they've been hot and cold this year. So even if they're cold, I reckon they still will find a way to beat Adelaide. And I don't think either of these teams will make finals though. Now, another good game. This round is very bottom stacked. The start of the round is going to be all blowouts, and the end of the rounds have lots of close games. So Melbourne GWS, this on paper should be a smash for Melbourne. But again, in recent times, it hasn't been. GWS found a way to win at the MCG last year. Can they do it again? I'm going to say no, but I'm going to say they get quite close. I'm going to say Melbourne only win by 7 points. And I reckon they're going to get scared, they're going to get a bit of a shock. Not scared, they're going to get a bit of a shock. And only come back in the last few minutes to kick a few and steady the ship and win the game. Now, Carlton Port. Port have just looked rubbish. Carlton last week looked bad, and I think if we were playing any other team, we would lose. But seeing as we're playing Port, I reckon Carlton will win this game by about 20. Patrick Cripps will be out though, so that's a big out for Carlton. But Port have a bunch of key forwards out, or key players out of their team. I don't see Port winning this game, especially at the MCG. So I'm going to say Carlton by 23. But again, Carlton looked bad last week. If Port turn around, this is the week they will do it. If they're going to make finals, they have to turn around this week. But I will say they don't turn around, and Carlton win by 23. Now, Freo versus Essendon. I reckon this will be the game of the round. I've got Freo winning by 2 points, but Essendon have looked bad this year, and Freo haven't looked great away from home, having only just beaten Adelaide. So I think it will be a very close game. I think it will be quite a scrappy game, but I think Freo will get it done and push Essendon to 1-4, and not out of finals contention, but it'll be very, very hard for them to get it from there if they lose this game. So yeah, I'm going to say Freo in a very, very tight game, get it done by 2 points. Now you get on to the last game of the round, the Easter Monday clash. This game's always a very hard one to predict. I'm going to go Geelong. They've looked a better team this year, even though Hawthorn did look very good against Port, and they looked good against Carlton after that first quarter. But after the last week from Hawthorn, I would say Geelong should win this. But again, this game is very hard to predict. Hawthorn win it quite a few times when they look like they're not going to win it and they're having a bad season. And sometimes Hawthorn are having a great season and they find a way to lose it. So you never know, but I'm going to say Hawthorn lose this game and Geelong win it by, I'm going to say, 24 points. So this segment is partly inspired by Cardman22. If you didn't know, in his tipping videos, he has big calls for every tip, and if he gets 3 out of 9, he doesn't have to do a punishment. But if he gets 2 or less, he does have to do a punishment. Now, I'm going to take the punishment part of it and change it a bit. So I've got this wheel right here, and it's got eat a pickle, go to AFL game on the same day as the Carlton game, or same time as the Carlton game, comments aside, free pass, buy a random jersey, discard a FIFA card, take a train to Flinders and then go straight back, buy the spiciest thing on a menu and next time I go out, 12-hour stream, and change my YouTube name to whatever the comments say for a week. So yeah, basically, if I don't get 5 out of 9 on my tipping every week, I'll have to spin the wheel once. But if I get 5 or more, I won't have to spin it. So obviously I'm not going to spin it this week. I just showed it to you, and I didn't do round 4 tipping. But yeah, just if it lands on comments aside, make sure you comment something a little bit nice, so I don't have to do something terrible. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.